Hello, and welcome to another Rag Company FAQ. Now, I'm Dane. You may not have seen me on here before, but if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, what's GSM? Well, fortunately, I'm here to tell you about it and a little bit more about what GSM means. So, let's get started. So, GSM, what does the acronym stand for? Well, GSM stands for grams per square meter. Now, what does grams per square meter mean? In the case of GSM, the grams per square meter, we're talking about a material stretched to a square meter. It would weigh this amount in grams. Now, of course, these towels, they aren't a square meter, but you still have 1100 GSM for the Everest. You have 500 GSM for this Eagle Edgeless 500. You have 420 GSM for the Creature Edgeless here, and 365 GSM for the Edgeless 365 here. Now, if you were to stretch these out to a square meter, that's what they would weigh in grams. But, as I said, they're not a square meter, so we need a way to tell one to the next what the density is. Now, that should make it fairly simple for being able to compare towels. If you're looking for something a little more chunky or a little bit lighter, these give you some sense of what you're looking at. Now, when people look at GSM, a common misconception is that GSM equals thickness. Now, that's not necessarily true. It equals density, but a towel can be very thin and still incredibly dense. It just matters how tight the weave is and a number of other things when it comes to the construction of the towel. So, why is GSM important? Well, back in the day when we were starting out, there wasn't a lot of GSM talk on the internet when it came to microfiber towels. Sure, once in a while you'd see it, maybe on a listing here or there, but it wasn't really a standard practice. Now, one of the things I really pushed for when we were developing our website back in the day was putting the GSM on each one of our microfiber products so people had a better idea of what it was they were looking at. It made it easier to compare against other ones you saw online, because then if there was a number associated with it, at least you had some kind of baseline to look at for density. Because you can look at a picture, you can see a towel that looks great big and fluffy, and then you actually order it and find out it was really done up in the pictures and it doesn't actually look the way that it did in photos. So we try and give people a better sense of what they're getting. At least it's like looking at a spec sheet on a car, right? You won't know until you really experience the car, but at least you have some idea going in of what you're getting yourself into. Now that you're aware of GSM being grams per square meter and how it is the density of a towel and not the thickness, you may also be wondering, well, does a higher GSM towel absorb more? And you'd be partially right to ask that, but that's not the whole story. Because of course, there are thin towels that can be extremely dense, and there are really thick towels that can actually be fairly loosely woven, a little bit lighter in that department, despite looking extremely fluffy, extremely thick. So when it comes to absorbency, it's a bit of a mixed battle there. When you're talking about the absorbency of a towel, the GSM does play a role. However, the blend of a towel is also incredibly important, because if you don't have an absorbent blend, but you have a great big GSM, you've got a whole lot of material, but it doesn't absorb much. So it's really just compromised. So if you have a comparable towel that's a lower GSM but a better blend, that better blend towel may absorb more. But I'm not trying to confuse anyone here. Just know if you have an 80-20 or 70-30 blend towel with a higher GSM, you play the numbers right, you're gonna have a more absorbent towel with the higher GSM if you're doing an apples to apples blend comparison. Now, in addition to that, things get a little bit more complicated when you factor in the length of the pile, the surface area that a towel has. You have longer fibers, perhaps. There's more areas for the actual liquid to get absorbed into, so that opens up more avenues. You're able to absorb more in that case. So it's a little bit of a balancing act as far as what's going to be the most absorbent. What you really need to know, though, is just find that happy medium that you like, find out with some towels that you really enjoy using, and you can stick to those specs. Or at least it gives you a baseline, so you know, I like this, and you could go up from there, but at least you know what you like, and you don't have to go below that. So, I hope that helps answer your question about GSM, grams per square meter, and how it affects the greater landscape of microfiber towels, be it absorbency, thickness, density, all that sort of stuff. Now, You've been watching here on the Rag Company FAQ channel, but are you subscribed? I hope so. If you're not, make sure you go and click that subscribe button because you got this video, but there's a ton of other great videos too. If you care about microfiber, if you care about detailing, Levi, Anthony, and myself will all be here to happily answer any questions you have, which, by the way, if you got some, leave them in the comments below and we'll turn them into another video. Maybe? We'll have to see. But until next time, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.